Hey, good morning. How are you creative? In her writing and research, Brené Brown talks a lot about the need to be creative and what being creative is and how it's different from what we do in our day-to-day lives. Being creative isn't necessarily creating something unique or building something that's never been built before, but it is an outlet for something about us that in our humanity of developing something. Not because it needs to be developed, but because we want to develop it. So how are you creative in your life? We have our routines. We go to our jobs. We go to school. We learn. We cook. We clean. We go shopping. But what are the things that create a sense of fulfillment and meaning in how you go about doing those things? So being creative has an infinite number of examples. It could be woodworking, it could be painting, it could be music, it could be song, it could be coloring, it could be any variety of things. And we see that in our lives, but it comes from a sense of not having to do it. We could get paid for being creative or not necessarily get paid for being creative. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So the challenge is that if you aren't being creative in some sense, some small way of finding some distracting, sitting down, taking time to do something different, knitting, crocheting, building something, there's something missing from who we are. And something about being human wants us to be creative and develop something. How are you doing that in your life? Are you taking time to participate in a choir or a band or to woodwork and finding for yourself what's valuable, what's meaningful, and taking the time to nurture that in yourself? Brené Brown talks about her not knowing what that was when she first started and how fulfilling it was to take the time to go paint gourds was the example that she had. It was something that she wasn't going to use for anything else anywhere in her life, but the putting paint on something in a way that was unique to her fostered that sense of fulfillment. Take some time this week and think about what are the ways that you're creative. What are you not doing that creates a sense of lack of creativity in your life? Are you doing the same things over and over again mechanically and monotonously? And what's one thing that could be different? Pulling out the children's coloring book and coloring for a few minutes, which is why the craze of adult coloring books was so big a few years ago, is fostering that sense of creativeness in ourselves. Setting time aside on a weekly basis to be creative for a few minutes, developing whatever it is that you want to develop, something new in your life, will add depth to the things that you do on a daily basis. How do you be creative? What aren't you doing, and what could you do to be more creative in how you go about daily life? Please feel free to share any ideas that you might have. What do you do? Create jewelry. Help us to brainstorm what those ideas might be, and then please feel free to share. Ask any questions you might have in the comments section below. I'm John Rhoads. I hope you're able to find purpose and meaning in your daily life.